The United States is in the middle of constitutional crisis. Judges are running amok. They're blocking everything and anything that Donald Trump does. Will Donald Trump declare martial law? Will he take the judges out, take them out of the country, maybe other things? Who knows? We will see. We will talk about that today. So hello and welcome to Contramundum.
The American Revolution, in other words, is never finished. It must always be renewed.
Greater love than this hath no man, than that he lay down his life for his friend.
What if it's not envy?
We must take back our cities, and take back our culture, and take back our country. God bless you, and God bless America.
All right, so we are back. We are back in action today, this Friday, March 21st. And the United States is facing a serious crisis, CJ Engel. Yes, it is.
What's going on?
CJ's been gone. He's been on vacation all week. He has no idea what's going on.
No idea.
So apparently all of these judges are issuing injunctions. Who would have expected this to ever happen?
Is this related to the one where Stephen Miller responded?
Yes.
Okay, so he said first the USA aid money had to be paid anyways, right?
Yeah.
The deportations had to be reversed.
That's right.
Right? Is that it? Or was there more?
Yeah, it was on like Tren de Aragua that they're not allowed to be deported out of the country to El Salvador to go break rocks for the rest of their lives and, you know, live in solitary confinement.
Isn't it funny conditions. How there's a constitutional restriction apparently on deporting criminals.
You can't deport criminals that are here illegally and murdering and raping and torturing. Mm-hmm. But if you want to force the entire country to take an experimental, medical treatment, that's also totally allowed. You can do that. Yeah. You want to lock down the entire country? You can do that. But you want to do things that benefit the people of the United States. Oh, we got this thing called the Constitution,
It's almost like living Constitution for my friends and originalism for my enemies.
What? How about that? Yeah, crazy, huh? So yeah, it's reached a point where the president can't press his Diet Coke button in the Oval Office without a judge issuing an injunction telling me he can't do that.
That would be based, but yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen, Mr. Engel, now that you're apprised of the situation?
Yeah, well, now that I'm apprised, I think there's a showdown coming. And this is what we've always wanted.
Yeah, you had Chief Justice John Roberts,
right? So he jumped in
a statement,
and he actually supported the injunction.
Well, he said the president, by saying this judge should be impeached, is inserting himself in the judicial process, and it's very improper and very bad. Blah 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 blah. It's like he wants to preserve the fiction that judges stand outside of politics, that they're not political agents, creatures operating on political lines, which is totally not true. It's so obvious that they're doing that. And Trump is saying, this is what's going on, right? I mean, there's the famous Trump tweet from 2012, right, from 13 years ago, where he says, isn't it something that all four of the liberal justices, always know how they're going to rule. It's always the Republican nominated ones that it's a wild card, right? How about that? That's weird, isn't it? Isn't it wild that they always vote the exact same way? You always could count on them. You could set your watch to Elena Kagan and Jumanji Brown and who are the other ones? I don't need that. They don't really matter. They're stupid. You know exactly, and they just you read their opinions, and it's all nonsense too. Yeah, it looks like it was written by a kindergartner.
Yeah, appealing to emotion and
Well, America is about being free and choosing your own destiny and just garbage, stupid things like that.
They don't know that empathy is a sin.
Yeah, they don't. And one of the rulings this week was by a judge, Ana Reyes, born in Uruguay, not born in America, but became a federal judge nominated by President Obama to the federal judiciary. And in her opinion, she wrote that the Trump administration violated federal law
Mm-hmm.
by issuing an executive order to ban men who think that they are women from the military. That you're violating civil rights law in doing so. And she
Which
also,
is true.
well, of course it is. Yeah. The woke are more correct than the mainstream. And in her opinion, in one of the footnotes, she cited the Broadway musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda, Hamilton. Right, she cited Hamilton. So our friend Josh Dawes, who defended Hamilton on X.com a couple, like in the last week, maybe you missed that. Hope you did. He's taking major L's this week. Theater kids in control, man.
So can you tell me about that? What do you do? I saw his name coming up.
Oh, Josh?
Yeah.
Oh, he just was like, oh, that's pretty good.
He's getting attacked?
Yeah, rightfully so. It's like, come on, man. Like, Alexander Hamilton. I wrote the Federalist Papers. Like some dumb rap musical. Come on.
Wait, okay,
like,
so
it's it's rap, right?
I hate rap.
I know.
So
yeah, it's there. Case closed.
That's in the musical?
Case closed.
Is that in the musical?
What?
I don't know. The rap.
I'm just making it. I've never seen it.
Oh,
like,
okay.
You think I've seen it? Come on, man.
You're quoting it.
No, I don't know. I'm just making it up.
Okay.
Like it's stupid.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like freestyle rap. Ooh, the Constitution. Like,
remember that libertarian Hayek versus Keynes rap thing?
I do.
Yeah.
Sadly, the cringe has not been purged out of me.
Yeah.
I need to keep losing weight before all those memories are gone. Cringe is stored in lipid cells.
Yeah, that was like that's when I started to question everything. I was like, wait a minute, this is not going to work for me. That's
right. So that's what's going on, man. Like, it's obviously you can't continue like this anymore, right? The fact that you have hundreds of judges all over the country, very low level federal judges that can issue nationwide injunctions, dictating how the executive branch will function, right? So if Donald Trump wants to send an aircraft carrier from one ocean to the other and orders the Joint Chiefs to do that as commander in chief under his Article 2 powers in the United States Constitution, this judge could be like, I don't think so. Right, you violated the Constitution, and then you got to leave the aircraft carrier in whatever sea, until the process plays out in federal court, like over months. Like, give me a break. And so it's the same thing. Like he's invoking the Alien Enemies Act, where it's like, okay, if you have a foreign gang that has been allowed to come here at the behest of the Venezuelan government, and they are occupying apartment buildings, they're murdering people, they're torturing people, they're leaving like chainsawed bodies all over the place. Like they're doing just sick, disgusting stuff. Like they're narco terrorists. They're operating in your country. Right. These aren't just criminals, right? Which is bad enough. Right. They are a foreign force operating your like they're alien enemies that need to be removed. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's the same thing. Like if we had like an actual president in 2001, right after 9/11 happens, like anybody who is even like tangentially related to Al Qaeda, whose brother's cousin's best friend once spoke to Muhammad Atta, and they're here on a green card, boom, they're gone. Like that's what should have happened. And instead, we had more Muslim immigration than at any point in our history after 9/11, because George W. Bush was our president, and he is one of the worst presidents in American history, which we don't have to elaborate on. Everybody watching that knows this. So anyway, what I just saw the comment about, yes, this is my wife's mug.
What's the comment say?
It is did you like the pastel colors? Isn't it nice?
So this is curious. So what are they claiming? Just judicial review, that some random judge can basically determine
Marbury
policy?
Madison, man.
So foreign policy is now at the behest of the judicial branch.
Yeah, the judicial branch gets to control foreign policy. It gets to control who gets to come into the country or not. It gets to control who is allowed in the military or not, right? I mean, it's insane that a crazy person, a crazy man who thinks that he is a woman, right? Like, gets to be in the military, gets to be fighting, gets to fly airplanes, whatever. Like, that person's insane. They should be committed. They shouldn't be, steering aircraft carriers or something. Like, the president should be allowed to make that decision that no, a crazy person that thinks he's the opposite sex should not be in the military, right? Nope, sorry that you violated civil rights law. Like, well, I mean, imagine if you said, "Oh, we're gonna have pedophiles in the military." Sorry, civil rights.
So where does this go from here? Does the Trump administration have to appeal?
Well,
or is it even irrelevant?
They're appealing, but Miller was able to get the planes in the air with these guys, and I think they might have been already on the ground in Venezuela before the
he hadn't finished the mission.
Was issued.
Right.
They might have still been in the air. It's like, yeah, judge does not get to tell the military that, oh yeah, you're running out of fuel, but you have to turn around. He doesn't get to do that.
But that's a technicality. Like,
but yeah, exactly. Like, so
we still need to deal with this.
You skirted around the problem because you beat him to the punch, but the problem is still there.
Can you do it again? That's the question, right?
Yeah. That will be the test.
That's the question.
And obviously, right, he's just going to have to ignore them and keep operating the way that he has. I mean, with the transgender ban, Hegseth has said they're going to fight it in court, right? Which, okay, great, but you should just say no, you don't get to tell us how we're going to run the military.
Yeah,
right. That's no, you're not going to be able to do that. Some of the question too, like, I mean, deeper into this is if they have shut off U.S. aid, because, like, I mean, just think about how much legal stuff costs, right? If you're gonna have a lawyer, bend down and tie his shoe, right? That's gonna be a few $100.
Yeah.
Right. So having these high-powered law firms scouring the country to find the right judge to issue injunctions for them, like, each one of these, how much do you think they cost? Like, millions of dollars, probably. Where's that money coming from? Well, we know that, like, our taxes paid for it over the last 5 or 10 years. So if that money's been shut off, if that spigot has been shut off that finances these things, how much longer can this go on from their side? Right. So maybe the calculus is, right, they're going to bleed themselves dry. You just fight this. You fight this lawfare war of attrition, because guess what? You have the Justice Department and you have unlimited resources to fight them.
Yeah.
Whereas they, in theory, at least have limited resources. So maybe they know that, like, the money's going to run out. They're not going to be able to take all these ones to the end zone, take them all to the Supreme Court. But then again, like, what if the Supreme Court rules, you have to let insane people that think they're women be Navy SEALs? What do you do then? Right. What do you do when they say, no, sorry, Donald Trump, you can't deport anybody. You need to keep them all here. Right. Sorry, Donald Trump, the massive money spigot of U.S. aid to lib activists, you got to keep that going, because Constitution says right here. Like, what do you do at that point? Right.
Well, I mean, how do you challenge this case without calling into question the Civil Rights Act?
That one in particular, the Reyes one.
I mean, I don't know how else to get around that.
Yeah.
Like, who on the Supreme Court would have, the political will to make that decision besides Clarence Thomas?
Clarence Thomas would, Samuel Alito would.
That's everything. That is the founding document. I mean,
yeah. Like, you and obviously nobody in Congress is going to vote to amend or repeal the Civil Rights Act. Like, that is not going to happen. But the thing is, like, public will for that to take place is like, it won't be generated until it comes down to that fight.
Yeah.
Until it's like, guess what?
Maybe in Trump's third term.
Yeah. Maybe. Which was the thing. Like, Steve Bannon is like, we're gonna 2028, and it's like, dude, he's gonna be 82 years old, right? Like, eventually,
who cares?
Oh, I don't care, but, like, it's not real. So
Are you blackpilling?
I'm not blackpilling. Like the man will die one day. It's going to happen.
What a blackpiller.
I know. I mean, maybe Elon will upload Trump's consciousness to the machine, and he could be president for eternity. Maybe that's the plan. Him and Peter Thiel are concocting some,
Probably,
secret scientific solution to our problems. No, yes, that's right. It does. So no, I think there has to be confrontation.
Yeah,
and I mean, the other point in all of this is
okay. So the thing is, I don't understand what mechanism exists. I guess if the Supreme Court rules one way against Trump, he could be impeached.
Yeah,
like I guess that's what they would do with it. I just don't understand what mechanism the judiciary has. Did you look this up, Caleb? Gary? No. Are we live? Where did Andrew go?
We can run an ad though.
Yeah. Do you have a pre-recorded ad?
Yeah, I have an ad we need to do.
Why did he just leave? He just left.
See you later. No, I needed some nicotine. I'm running out of steam here. Okay, I'm back.
All right. Well, Gary's gonna play something.
All right. Oh yeah, the Stephen Miller. Then we got to talk about this.
No, he's gonna play the ad.
Oh, we have an ad.
Yes.
I didn't even know. All right.
You could have timed that.
Yeah, if we had an ad, I would have waited till the ad was playing. Okay. All right. What's our ad?
If you're like me, you grew up on beef jerky. It was a must-have for any road trip. But most beef jerky is loaded with sugar, soy, and nitrates. Ew. Farmer Bill's is a Christian-owned meat snacks company in South Dakota that offers pasture-raised meat snacks. They make biltong. It's like beef jerky, but air-dried with clean ingredients and way better. The pre-sliced biltong is perfect for protein on the go, and the slab is great for snacking or hosting a party. It's like a large, dry-aged ribeye with perfect marbling of fat.
Go to Farmer Bill's.
Uh-oh. We lost audio, at least on our end. Is it still playing, Gary? We lost it. We lost it. We lost our ad. Okay. It's gone. All right. We can do the second half of the ad freestyle.
Wait, was that? Oh, that was
the second half is
but it's still playing right now for everybody else, right?
No, it's not played for everybody else.
Oh, okay. How
quickly the last Farmer Bill's box of biltong, how long did it last you?
A day.
Yeah, mine. I mean, I bought like 5 pounds of biltong, I think, and that lasted a solid week.
Yeah, no, it was longer than a day, but that stuff is addicting, man.
Yeah, it is. It's
you get the slabs, right?
Yeah, I love the slabs.
Yeah, the slabs.
It's because it like you cut those things and they're nice and juicy still. Like they're not like totally desiccated and dried out.
They're moist.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, but even the
you don't
biltong,
use the word moist. That's not going to sell people.
Even the biltong is moist.
Yeah.
Again? All right.
Nah, we don't need to do it. Yeah. No, we
Visions.com or click the link in the description below and use code CONTRA to save 20% off your order today.
Farmer Bill's Provisions, the perfect protein snack.
Let's go. Here we go. Next part.
Stay safe. Mask up. Get the vax. Don't take unnecessary risks. Be careful. We've been coddled, smothered in warnings, trained to fear and avoid risk. We've been taught to play it safe and be on our guard. And not just against a scraped knee or a failed endeavor. No, we've been taught to censor our speech, our words, even our thoughts. Don't think those dangerous thoughts. Don't notice. Don't speak out. If you do, we're coming for you. Who's coming for you? It almost doesn't even matter. Whether it's the HR lady at your company of either sex, weaponized church courts, the social media censors, or even those you once considered allies. Watch out. Take care. Play it safe. But was it always this way? Have we always lived under this kind of stifling, wet blanketing panopticon? Is this the spirit of our Christian forefathers? Of the men who founded our nation in blood and in faith, willing to face down all the might of Britannia and her redcoats? There was a time when Americans didn't shrink from risk. when they would rather die than bend. Our Christian forefathers knew what it was to draw the sword and throw away the scabbard. They knew what it was to set sail for the unknown. They defied tyrants. They built, explored, and dared great things. Who settled this land? Who built one of the greatest nations ever to be? Who settled the West and covered the continent from sea to sea with a Christian people? Who searched out glories, crisscrossed the plains with railroads, and fought off usurpers and invaders on all sides? Risk wasn't a bug, it was a feature. Without it, our fathers knew, there was no greatness. And now, we're supposed to trade boldness for bureaucracy? We're supposed to tremble at the unknown instead of mastering it? We're supposed to bow and scrape, not even before bullets, but before HR ladies? We don't think so. It's time to remember who we are. This year, join us here at New Christendom Press for our annual conference, Safety Third, Recovering the American Will to Greatness. 4 days to forge new friendships, build coalition, and work to recover what was lost. It's time to reclaim the spirit that built this nation, to break free from fear, to risk, to build, to lead. The future belongs to the bold.
All right, let's go.
We should go there. That looks good.
Yeah, we should go to that conference.
Yeah.
You plan on going?
Maybe I will.
Yeah, me too. All right. Yeah, we will be there.
We will be there.
Who else is going to be there? All the Ogden guys.
The Ogden guys will be there. Wow, that's crazy. In one spot?
Yeah.
Will Gary be there? Gary, you going?
Yeah. Have you ever gotten
No, I can't make it.
Brent, we are we're up in the game, man. We're up in the game. Don't worry. The production quantity production quantity is definitely going way up, but also quality.
Quantity's up.
Quantity is quality is getting there. But yeah, they did the ad for us this week. Yeah, CJ just mogged them into. He's like, I just can't. I don't do these things. No, we got some ads planned where they're gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't give them away yet.
I didn't give them away.
Quiet.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should buy more slabs.
Farmer Bills.
I might do that right now.
Yeah, we got your laptop open, so just go to farmerbills.com
/
or Farmer Bills Provisions.
Oh, and then you go to Contra as the 20% off. Did they mention that, by the way?
Yes, they did. You were you not even listening to the ad while it was going? Okay. So yeah. So anyway, cool.
What's next? Do we have a Stephen Miller clip to play?
Yeah. You got that ready to go.
I basically summarized it.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of did, but Stephen Miller's hilarious.
He was like, like, how do I deal with this lady?
Yeah, did you watch the whole thing?
The 9-minute one.
Yeah. Man, it's so good. It's so good. He's like, let me finish. You're not listening. You don't understand.
You're not listening.
Like this is,
and she was serious too. She literally didn't know what he was saying.
She did not comprehend. I mean, it was like you were dealing with somebody. Like the conversation. I'll just set it up before we play it. Is like, what happens when you have an argument with a 140 IQ plus person, and somebody who's a midwit, right? Like it was that argument. No, I have it in the notes. The notes are in the Google Doc, man.
Do you want me to put them in the chat for you, the private chat?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, CJ will share it. Okay. But it was it's just great. I mean, anytime somebody is making journalists look stupid is always awesome.
It's in the private chat.
On StreamYard. Yeah, we're doing a production meeting right now. So yeah, man, Stephen Miller is great, but like the thing is, like even after the interview, there we go. Let's go. Share screen. It was James Woods. We love James Woods. I just watched the Nixon Oliver Stone movie, and he was like my favorite character, James Woods. He played John Ehrlichman. So
I need to watch that, don't I?
yeah, you do. Add it to the list. All right, go ahead, Gary.
So you called the judge's order just earlier today, quote, patently unlawful, end quote, and
Correct.
said that it was an assault on democracy itself.
Correct.
Does that mean that the administration is ignoring this order, and might you ignore future court orders that meet the criteria you laid out?
The President of the United States and his administration reserve all rights under the Constitution to conduct national security operations in defense of the United States. The Alien Enemies Act, which was passed into law by the founding generation of this country, men like John Adams, was written explicitly to give the president the authority to repel an alien invasion of the United States. That is not something that a district court judge has any authority whatsoever to interfere with, to enjoin, to restrict, or to restrain any way. You can read the law yourself. There's not one clause in that law that makes it subject to judicial review, let alone district court review.
So, Stephen, when you say that this person has no authority at all, this is how our system works. It starts with these judges and then continues up. At what point does it become, in your view,
pause it, Gary.
legal for the justice system?
Like, they just make things up on air, like us. You know, like
we know what we're talking about, though, man.
Yeah, she's like, our system starts at the bottom and then works. Like, what are you talking about? How does that? No, that's not how it works. Can you imagine like having to get judicial approval to like make a strategic military decision? It's like one of the most like has anyone made this argument before? Actually,
have you ever read the Alien Enemies Act?
I browsed it. No, I haven't read it.
Okay, so like Section 2, and be it further enacted that it shall be lawful for the President of the United States, whenever he may deem it necessary for the public safety, to order to be removed out of the territory thereof any alien who may or shall be in prison in pursuance of this act, and to cause to be arrested and sent out of the United States, such as those aliens, as shall have been ordered to depart therefrom, and shall not have obtained a license as aforesaid, in all cases, in the opinion of the president, the public safety requires a speedy removal. And if any alien so removed or sent out of the United States by the president shall voluntarily return thereto, unless by permission of the president of the United States, such alien on conviction thereof shall be imprisoned so long as, in the opinion of the president, that public safety may require.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like if they leave and he catches one of these guys and some like Bukele, loses power or something, and they get out of prison and they come back, and Donald Trump is still president, or whoever the president is, JD Vance is president, right? He could put them in Guantanamo Bay for the rest of their life if he wants to. And they do not need to face trial, right? They're alien enemies. They're not citizens. They do not have due process rights under this law, which the Supreme Court, short in like 1802 or 3, ruled is fully constitutional, right? And so it's been constitutional for over 200 years. And the argument that this gal is making is, well, if some podunk federal judge decides that he didn't like what Donald Trump is doing, he can issue an injunction, and it could be totally insane. It could have no backing by any precedent or any legal reasoning whatsoever. It could be he could have written it in crayon, right? And you got to follow it. You just got to obey it, right? Mm-hmm. It could be the most patently disordered, unconstitutional thing ever that a judge could do. Well, that judge, he has the power to do that because of judicial review in Marbury versus Madison. And so the 40 people watching the stream that haven't liked the stream will be deported. Yes, under the Alien Enemies Act. Yes, Donald Trump will declare you an enemy of the United States. And so part of it too, I mean, the first section, be it enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled that it shall be lawful for the President of the United States at any time during the continuance of this act to order all such aliens as he shall judge dangerous to the peace and safety of the United States, or shall have reasonable grounds to suspect or concerned in any treasonable or secret machinations against the government thereof. So, right, like this applies to the thousands of Chinese spies in the United States as well, by the way. To depart out of the territory of the United States within such time as shall be expressed in such order, which order shall be served on such alien by delivering him a copy thereof, or leaving the same as his usual abode, and return to the office of the Secretary of State by the Marshal or any other person to whom the same shall be directed. And in case any aliens ordered to depart shall be found at large within the United States after the time limited in such order for his departure, and not having obtained a license for the President of the United States to reside therein, or having obtained such license, shall not have conformed thereto, every such alien shall, on conviction thereof, be imprisoned for a term not exceeding 3 years, and shall never after be admitted to become a citizen of the United States, provided always, and be it further enacted, that if any alien ordered to depart shall prove to the satisfaction of the President by evidence to be taken before such person as or persons as the President shall direct, who are for that purpose hereby authorized to administer oaths that no injury or danger to the United States will arise from suffering such alien to reside therein, the President may grant a license to such alien to remain within the United States for such time as he shall judge proper, and at such place as he may designate. The President may also require of such alien to enter into a bond to the United States in such penal sum as he may direct, which with one or more sufficient sureties to the satisfaction of the person authorized by the United States to do the same. Right. So, right. This is wide authority that is granted to the President of the United States for any aliens. Right. So this means any person that is not a citizen of the United States, not merely illegals, not people who have illegally entered. This could be people who are legal residents, who have green cards, who are here on H-1Bs or student visas. Right. Anybody that is here that is not a citizen of the United States, he could say, you are an alien enemy. Right. So
I wonder how much. Okay. Well, so like, I see where you're going with this. How much of this do you think is being set up to give them more leeway to deal with other immigration problems later on? Because
I think that's what it is.
If you can get higher up courts to just tell this judge to shut up, this has nothing to do with the Alien Act, then
that is constitutional for the president to do this.
Like, what are the implications for immigration in general?
Yeah.
Like think about the Haiti dump, right, in Ohio.
Yeah. Every single one of them just getting kicked out right then and there.
Right.
No trial, nothing.
Right, because Haiti participated in that whole thing.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean that's interesting.
What if foreign countries are dumping their people on your country? That is an invasion, right? That is an act of war.
That would be very white pilling, because it's not like we've talked about this all the time. It's not just the guys like scooting over the border, right? It's also all the NGOs that are taking advantage of the asylum system, and the green card people who get in here and stay here beyond their own beyond designated time.
Yeah.
So
overstaying student visas, like Kamala Harris's parents.
If they get a green light on it, there's a lot they could do with it.
Yeah. And so, I mean, obviously, from like the political perspective, right? If you're thinking in realpolitik terms, you want to exhaust every possible option that you reasonably can. Like this one is a little bit more difficult because, right, you're dealing with violent criminal gangs that are terrorizing the population.
So it's low-hanging fruit.
So, and this is why they started with criminal aliens.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that makes sense.
Because you want to start out with the people who are like the most obviously a threat.
Yeah.
That only the most and because
the indefensible.
The indefensible,
undefendable.
Yeah. Because what happens
unless
is the
you're
people
Walter Block.
right, the people freaking out about it, like marginalize themselves. Like you wanted like rapists and murderers to stay in this country. Right. So when the White House posted that video, I don't know if you saw it, like they played closing time over it, when these guys are getting led away in chains and have their heads shaved when they get to El Salvador. You don't have to go home, but you You can't stay here.
Can't stay here,
And the band, right? Semisonic.
We did not authorize.
We did not authorize this. This is terrible. It's like the song is about peace and love and joy. Blah blah blah. It's like, I mean, this also like is a window into the soul of the Minnesotan lib. These guys are from Minneapolis. Just totally brain dead, just emasculated wimps. And what are they doing? Like these people are like disgusting subhuman creatures that rape everything, murder everything, steal children, like horrible people. Yeah. And it's like, we're defending their rights. Trump is evil. He's doing something. It's like, no, you were defending the worst human beings on earth, right? That everybody wants out of this country, like regardless of your ideological views. And so it makes those people look like monsters that defend them.
Yes,
and they are.
Yes, but it's a good way to get the ground rolling. But the other thing, though, is I'm curious about the fact that they anticipated the judicial response.
Oh, of course they did.
Right?
Yeah, there's you can't tell me for a second that like Stephen Miller was already in the White House once and saw all of this play out.
And if it's successfully appealed, then they actually have precedent.
Yeah, you
take it a step further.
You have precedent, and then you can go a little bit further, a little bit further. Like you should be using the Alien Enemies Act of anyone that plausibly could be accused of spying for the People's Republic of China. Like all of them have to go, right? All the Silicon Valley tech workers, the ones that are in the defense, like every single, like it's insane to me that you would not have like American citizens only working for Lockheed and Boeing and they don't.
No.
Right? Like how does China Boeing Trump and Boeing just announced the F-47, right? A 6th generation stealth fighter, far more advanced than anything else on the planet. And it looks super cool and all that kind of stuff. And like, I look at that and I'm thinking like, all right, T-minus 6 months, once they get that thing operational before China just makes their own, because their spies stole everything from here. And we can't do anything about it because it's racist. It's racist to exclude them from building planes. And it's like every couple of months you'll see, handful of legal residents of the United States who are in the military arrested for spying for the People's Republic of China. And then you look at the names and it's funny, it's like, wow, who could have ever suspected
it's always the ones
Xi Jinping is a Chinese spy? Like, come on. Right.
It's always the ones you least expect.
Exactly. Like, no, these people should not be in our country, much less in our military or in our defense industry.
Yeah.
Right. It's insane that it is. And on top of that, you look at all of the like highest tech stuff, right? They're bringing in H-1Bs, not just from India, but also China. And what's going to happen? Like, they don't need to work on any of their own stuff. They just steal it from the United States. And there's nothing you can do about it once it's gone. So like in terms of national security, right, millions, tens of millions, 100 million must go back. Right. That's the way it is. Right. And so it's wide discretion. Right. There are no trials. Right. It's not well, you need to have a judge and do habeas corpus and all of these things and find out and see. It's like, no, this person is not a citizen of the United States. We think, right, because it's the opinion of the president, right? I think this person is an enemy of the United States, is conducting treasonous activity, right? And that's wide discretion there as well, right? That could be this person is doing BLM activism in our country, or pro-Hamas stuff. Like, this is the Colombia thing, right? Everyone, like, so many people are freaking out about it because it's like, well, Israel directed him to do that. It's a pro-Israeli thing. It's like this guy, Mahmoud Khalil, is in one of the top universities of our country, where the new elite are being manufactured, right? that is somebody like you look at Ilhan Omar or what's the Rashida Tlaib or whatever, like those people that are selected to rule over us.
Did they go to Columbia?
I don't know if they went to no.
Oh, okay.
Ilhan didn't. But what I'm saying is like that guy, right? He continues up the chain of hierarchy among elite status holders. Like he's going to rule over you. Right, over our country. And like I had so many of these guys like freaking out at me because I was like, I don't care if it makes the Israelis happy that he got deported. The thing you have to understand about the left-wing pro-Hamas stuff is these are not guys like I'm critical of American foreign policy and the Israel lobby and all of that stuff. Right. I think I have a pretty strong track record of that. Like I'm a known quantity. And I don't care if this guy, has the same opinion of Israel. I don't think he does actually, right? All of the, like the left-wing criticism of Israel it's indistinguishable from what we saw in 2020 of BLM. Like they hate Israel because they view them as white. They view them as a Western country. And the same language is a genocidal state. That's the same thing they say about that's like land acknowledgement stuff. Right, it's like, oh, we stand here upon the Wampanoag, Iroquois, whatever tribe, and it's like, and evil white people hundreds of years ago wiped them out. Right, that's how they view America in the same terms. They want our country destroyed, and this guy's at Columbia. He's going to rule over you. It's just like I said earlier in the week, like Harvard for the very first time ever now has remedial math. And everyone's like, ha, that's so stupid, DEI, whatever. And it's like, no, like you don't get it. Like Harvard, because they've dumbed everything down, and it's not like Harvard's going to decline and not be Harvard or Yale or Columbia. These are still the factories for the elite, and the elite that we are going to have are now going to be very, very stupid people and people that are animated by a hatred of our civilization, our country, our heritage, right? Those are the people that they're creating and selecting to be in charge of us. So like you see this guy, Mahmoud Khalil, he's got 5 children. It's like, no, he's agitating for the destruction of your country, not just Israel, your country. Right. And so any like opposition I have to the American-Israeli relationship is because I'm an American and I care about my country more than that country. Right. So just because this guy's here and he's critical of it too, does not mean I want him here in my country.
This is why politics is better thought of as friends and enemies, right?
Yeah,
because
he's an enemy.
If it was ideology, then you could make these little we're
going to band together with the people that hate us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but if it doesn't matter, because I don't really care about the Middle East conflict anymore. What I care about is like the well-being of the United States, and these guys are our enemies.
Yes,
I don't care about Israel compared to the United States, but since this guy's here and he's a threat to my way of life, he's an enemy.
He's got to go.
Yeah.
That's my view on it. It has nothing to do with like, this guy doesn't like Israel, and Donald Trump is owned by Benjamin Netanyahu. So that's why it's like, I don't care.
And it doesn't matter.
He has to go. I'm glad he's gone. His wife and his 5 children should go with him. Right. They need to go. Right. And that's how you have to view these things. Right. These are enemies of our way of life. They're enemies of our country. They hate us. They want it destroyed. Right. You see the language, the rhetoric that they use. Right. They want us wiped out, and they have to go. And hopefully the president of the United States continues to do this kind of stuff. Right.
I think that's,
yeah.
I mean, do you want to play a couple more minutes of that clip?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh,
you did? It's gone?
That's fine.
Okay. Bring Stephen Miller back. No, it's in the tab. You got to share screen. There we go. Bring Stephen back. Okay.
System to be looking at this and making a judgment. And I fail to see how there's any other way but to start with where we're starting here before you get to eventually the Supreme Court.
Well, so first of all, there's a term in law, justiciable. This is not justiciable. In other words, this is not subject to judicial remedy. When the president is exercising his Article 2 powers to defend the country against an invasion or to repel a foreign terrorist that is unlawfully in the country. He's exercising his core Article 2 powers as commander-in-chief.
Is Venezuela
This is
invading the U.S.?
This is a very important point. This is a Title
You're
50
pausing, Gary.
authority. It's a commander.
Like, think about her like reply. Like, is Venezuela invading the US? Yes. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Right. They are. They are dumping their people here. That is an invasion. Right. It doesn't mean like invasion does not mean, oh, they're sending the Venezuelan army to storm the border. Right. If you dump your people here, millions of your people into our country, that is an invasion and they have to be repelled. Right. Whether they bring guns with them or not does not matter. It's an invasion. Yeah. And you see this, you could play it again. Like he's speaking about it in these terms.
Commander-in-chief authority. So just to ask you a simple question, you talk about how the system works. Does a district court judge have the right to direct or enjoin troop movements overseas? Yes or no?
Well, Stephen, my question.
Oh, no.
If you could
In
answer
other
my
words,
question first.
In other words,
is Venezuela invading our country in a way that would apply this
TDA?
way?
So I'll answer yours and you'll answer mine. Under the terms of the statute, Tren de Aragua is an alien enemy force that has come here as detailed at length in the proclamation at the direction of the Venezuelan government. The statute says that a president has the ability to repel an invasion or predatory incursion that is directed by a foreign
state
government.
or a government, right? Are they a state or a government?
This would be yes. It is documented. The TDA was sent by the Venezuelan government in the proclamation. And here's an even more important point: under the Constitution, who makes that determination? A district court judge elected by no one, or the commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy? The president and the president alone makes a decision of what triggers that determination.
So do you then think we are actually at war with Venezuela, the nation state of Venezuela?
She's so dumb.
You're
Here, pause
not
this,
hearing
Gary.
me and you're not understanding.
Right.
Yeah, she's still. Are we really at war?
Are we at war? Was there a declaration of war? And Miller's point
is that it's irrelevant.
It doesn't matter. Like the president and in the Alien Enemies Act, it's under his opinion.
Yes. That a state is working with to facilitate an invasion,
an incursion into the United States.
Yes.
Well,
Congress doesn't have to declare war. Or see that alien.
Yeah.
What was the Alien Act?
Alien Enemies Act. Yeah.
Alien
of 1798.
That was not predicated on Congress being at war with another country.
And it was because, right, you had at the time, right, you have the Napoleonic Wars taking place in Europe. And in America, you had both British and French possessions, and that war was taking place in the Americas as well. And so you could have French troops or French people or British troops or British people agitating within the United States, and were agitating within the United States, trying to get the United States to take one side or the other. And to maintain the neutrality of the United States, or if you have agitators in your country provoking war, you got to remove them. And that's why he's given this wide discretion. And so it's the same thing, right? If a foreign country says, go ahead and go to America and take up residence there and live off of these suckers, right? And you send millions of your people into that country, that is an incursion by a foreign power that is tantamount to an act of war. And the person who gets to make that distinction according to the Alien Enemies Act, it's not Congress, it's not a judge, it's the president alone. Right? The president alone gets to do this. Right? So if he wanted to, according to the Alien Enemies Act, right, he could say, right, Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, Venezuela, Colombia, all of these countries are making incursions in the United States. India, China, all of them. And they all have to go back. And we are deporting them under Article 2 power. Right. And so this is the test case, right? So this is why I think they're not going to declare martial law. They're not going to arrest judges and send them to Guantanamo as much as we would be delighted by those things.
They're doing it the right way first.
They're doing it to be able to establish precedent. To deal with this problem, right? Because the Biden administration and all the previous administrations, they just flooded the country with these people. And it is going to take extraordinary measures to undo the damage that has been done to this country. How much time we got? We got about 5 minutes left. There's so much else I wanted to talk to you about today. CJ's been gone.
Oh,
all
we have a
week.
shout out we have to do. I have been gone.
Yeah. What is the at? What's the at that we got to shout out here? Oh, sorry.
Siri wants
Sorry,
to jump in
Siri.
there.
Siri wants to shout out.
It's a Twitter at on X, actually.
Okay.
At
Our
Christian
friend.
NDS.
So
XIANNDS.
Yeah. XIAN.
We almost said it together.
Yeah, that was weird. So yeah, go ahead and follow him.
He's a premium supporter.
Yeah,
he gets a
good
shout
guy.
out. He's
Great guy.
one of our top
Yeah,
guys.
he is a Contramundum top guy.
Yeah, you too can be a top guy.
That's right. Go ahead and
The elites don't want you to know this, but anybody can be a top
anybody
guy.
can be a Contramundum top guy. So yeah, where do they go to do that?
Contramundumpod.com.
Contramundumpod.com and sign up to be a top guy.
Be a top guy.
Yeah.
You know who else is a top guy?
Who's that?
He's actually not a top guy, but he's a supporting listener of our show.
Who's that?
Phil Williams.
Phil. Yeah. Thanks, Phil. Thanks, Phil, for signing
Phil.
up. I hope you enjoy the content, man.
Yeah,
Maybe you'll clip this and say, yeah, dangerous Christian nationalist Pastor Ed Risker wants Tren de Agua deported. Oh, Chinese spies deported. How dare he?
Isn't it cool though to get his financial support after
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah, I'll take your money, buddy.
He
You pay for a whole year.
Yeah.
Great.
He gets to see us repeal the 20th century.
Yeah, he gets to see the repeal of the 20th century series. He gets to
The Spanish Civil War series.
yeah, he's gonna get a lot of great content. And so maybe he'll stop being a brain dead lib.
Doubt.
Press X to doubt on that one.
Yeah, what else did you want to talk to me about? I have been gone all week, by the way.
Oh
So,
man, like let me see. I wrote down notes.
well, a lot of it was. I mean, you mentioned the Khalil.
Oh yeah, I
That's
did
right.
mention Mahmoud.
So what's up?
Oh,
with
Mahmoud.
the,
Sorry,
what's
you're
up with
gone.
the Austin pileup?
Oh yeah, so like maybe this is something you noticed when you drove on freeways recently, or it's something I drove last week. I drove all the way from Florida back to Tennessee, and like, do you ever notice that, especially like in the freeways where it's like no trucks left lane, and then you're driving along,
They're all in the left
and
lane.
all these semis are in the left lane, and then
Yeah.
you're driving by, and they finally get out of the way, and you look up, and it's always a dude in a turban that is the
It's
guy
always
that's
a
in the left
Khalil.
lane. Yeah,
What is going
and
on?
it's like weird. Well, it turns out like many of these guys don't even speak English, so like I guess I don't actually blame him for not knowing what the sign. It's written on the road: no truck, left lane, and signs everywhere: no trucks, left lane, no trucks, left lane. Well, that looks like gibberish to him because he doesn't speak English, right? He has no idea. Like they come here, they get rubber stamped with CDLs, right? They sit through a 10-hour CDL course. They learn to, put a truck in gear and back it up. And then they just get thrown out onto the roads and drive 800,000-pound death machines on the freeways. Well, look, what happened in Austin this week? Massive pileup. I think like 5 people died.
On the freeway?
On the freeway in Austin. And it
I saw the clip of this.
Yeah,
And
and-
everybody gets out and nobody's speaking English.
Yeah, like half the semi drivers, at
Yeah.
least or more, are not American.
Yeah.
Right, they're from foreign countries. Like you go to a truck stop today, and you see the guys. Like my dad was a truck driver, and it always was just like big dudes in like flannel shirts and cowboy boots. Looked rough. And do we lose everything? Okay, we're still there. Okay. And now you go to a truck stop and it's like dudes in turbans and flip-flops, like imagine like, shifting the clutch, you get your flip on, your foot slides out of your flip-flop like that. These are the guys that are driving these trucks. Right. And like they've replaced, right. You remember like the Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, debate,
Yeah.
where they're talking about AI driving trucks and how Tucker's like, no, I don't want that because like, what the number one job in America for white, not college educated men is, it's over the road trucking.
Yeah.
And so those are high paying jobs. They provide income for families. They did for my family. And what have they done? Instead of replacing them with AI, they've done it with foreign H-2B visas. And so you can, huge ginormo trucking companies love this because you could undercut the wages. You could treat these guys like garbage because, right, you could treat them in like third world terms, like third world conditions. And they make a way higher margins now than they used to because you don't have to pay Americans a rate that Americans will want to do that work. It's hard work. And you could see the results, right? You could see the rise in accidents because of it. And it's like, we never had any say in this. Americans never got to decide, hey, do we want a bunch of people from third world countries driving around semis on our freeways, right? We never were asked, right? Because most Americans, if you ask them that, they would be like, no, I do not want that. I want people that have that are from here, that can read the road signs, that have years of experience driving these things. I don't want just an influx of hundreds of thousands or millions of people that are not from here, that don't know how to drive in like winter weather or anything. Like, no, actually, I don't want that. Like I've seen the videos, what the streets are like in New Delhi. Like, no, I don't want people that drive like that here. And especially if you did it secretly, right? If you like, I won't tell anybody, but what do you think about this? Right. Publicly, they'll be like, oh, well, I guess it's bad and evil. And I'm a bad person if I say I don't want them there because the Emma Lazarus poem and everything. But most people don't want this.
Yeah.
Right? It's like an 80-20 issue. But who does want it? Ginormous corporations that have lots of money and lots of power. And so all this is to say we need like 90% interest rates for like 2 decades. Just destroy Wall Street, destroy all of them, right? Bring America back.
We should talk about economics more.
Yeah.
I wish we had more time.
I wish we had more time.
But actually, that's an interesting debate.
You had more time.
The usury debate is actually interesting.
Huge one. Yeah, Kevin Sorbo. Right.
Well, we've actually never talked. I haven't seen it, but we have
Yeah.
never talked about this on the show.
No, we haven't.
But the right wing talks about it all the time. By the way, before we end up, yes, go to contramundumpod.com because you can get merch there.
The merch. You got to get the merch. I should be wearing some. I don't know why I'm not. Yeah, Gary's wearing some. He's not going to go on camera. So, yeah, that's all. I think it's all we got this week, man.
We need more merch.
We need way more. Give us ideas.
Yeah, give us ideas. Post ideas.
I mean, there's a lot of ideas that I've had that've been shot down, but but, hey, we need to get more flags on there. Oh yeah,
we need to get some more appeal to heaven flags. Beware of foreign influence flags.
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What else?
Way more stuff. That's all we got. We've got exciting week ahead. A lot of big stuff coming that you want to keep your very exciting week ahead. Big things to come that you want to see. Yeah, challenge coins. There we go. Thank you, Forms Respecter. We got to have those. Everybody wants them. Donald Trump hands them out, so now we got to do it too.
People want Nixon.
Oh, I didn't get to talk to you.
Crossover shirts.
That's right. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll see if we can get the Richard Nixon Foundation to sign off on that, his estate and the rights.
You never know.
I mean, I would love a shirt with the Nixon and Elvis picture on there. Oh, buddy, that would be great. We need to have that up here. So, yeah, I didn't get to talk to you about William Wolf going to the White House. Did you see that?
I did.
Our guy. You know who else was there? You didn't see him in the picture because he's so little.
No.
But Owen Strahan was there as well. It's hilarious because the people freaking out about William, I can't believe he went there with Paula White and prayed for Donald Trump. I would never do that. It's like, well, yeah, you're never going to get invited.
But my only comment on that is
they didn't attack Owen over that. Strangely weird.
That is the funniest line of argument that
dude, I'd go there if there was a rabbi or an imam or whatever.
They literally are treating the White House like a church.
Yeah. They cannot.
That's so funny.
They can't make distinctions.
No,
they're incapable of it. They can't think like, oh, Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel, can you come here? I've got all my wizards and pagan priests here, but sorry, I can't come, Nebuchadnezzar. There's heretics and pagans there. I'm not gonna interpret your dream. I'm not gonna pray for you.
On one day, religion has to have absolutely nothing to do with politics. And on the next day, you can't do that because the White House is apparently a place of worship.
It's not pure enough, right? It's not. You
funny.
Can't go. Oh, you did go. Well, it's not pure enough because Paula White's a heretic, and you can't even you can't even be in the same room as her, right? I mean, how would you be able to have the Council of Nicaea? Right? Constantine says, "Hey, we got to figure this out." Well, Arius is going to be there. Athanasius and St. Nicholas, sorry, we can't go because Arius is going to be there. He's a heretic.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to be in the same room with him. Right. That's insane. Right. But of course they think the Council of Nicaea was pagan because it violated Baptist polity or something.
Well, because they're also operating on a friends and enemy distinction.
Yeah. We're the enemy.
That's what Paul Gottfried always says. Yeah. It's like liberals are always operating on friends and enemies.
Always. Yeah. We definitely are the enemy, and they're showing their hand.
All right.
That's all we got. CJ's got to go. He's got more stuff to do. CJ's just going to do things.
He can just do things.
But thank you all. Please like, subscribe, share this, and go to contramundopod.com. Sign up right now, immediately.
Buy a hat.
Goodbye.
Buy a hat.